I'm glad that you have joined us for our time of study today. I'm Tim Smith for Sunday School University, and we are going to be looking at the lesson for Sunday, March the 29th. Remember, we're in a series looking at the life of Christ, and the lesson for this coming Sunday is the death like no other. We're going to be studying the crucifixion. And I'll just tell you that it is just very difficult to study this and not be moved emotionally. So you're going to have a challenge as you study this and as you teach this, just not to get emotionally into this. We want our people walking away. When we finish our class time, we want them walking away with this in their mind, that Jesus' death is at the heart of the gospel. His death is at the center of the gospel message. And we're going to be looking at that. We're going to be in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 27. And the theme for Matthew's gospel is that Jesus brings salvation from sin. That's the gospel message, is that Jesus brings salvation from sin. Now we're going to be looking at the story of the crucifixion from Matthew. And I want you to understand that in the narrative we see very little commentary concerning the events of the crucifixion. Very little extra details. And the reason for that is the same reason for me. And that is that it's just difficult to talk about. Because the suffering that Jesus goes through was for me. The pain that He endured, the fact that God became flesh and suffered for me, is more than I can take. And I think that's the same thing that Matthew was experiencing as he wrote this. I put this in your notes. It is as if we are watching the most graphic horror movie, and at the same time we are watching a tearjerker of a love story. You want to be sick, but you want to rejoice. You're saddened, but you're joyful. Because of His sufferings, we have salvation. Matthew struggled with it. I struggle with it. I imagine that you'll struggle with it as well. So let's look at these verses and ask the Lord to speak to us during this time. Matthew 27, verse 28 is where we will start. Verse 28, they stripped Him and put a scarlet robe on Him. They twisted together a crown of thorns and set it on His head. They put a staff in His right hand and knelt before Him and mocked Him. "Hail, King of the Jews," they said. They spit on Him and took the staff and struck Him on the head again and again. And after they had mocked Him, they took off the robe and put on Him His own clothes, then led Him away to be crucified. So who is the they? Well,